Coming up on DITV, a UI college is celebrating a special anniversary. We'll tell you more.
And later, we share some behind-the-scenes secrets of the theater department's mysterious new play.
We have big news coming out of men's basketball later in sports.
Will that warm weather we saw earlier in the week return? Stay tuned to weather to find out.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Abby Napolis.
And I'm Jacob Gunther.
It has been 20 years since the naming and creation of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business. A celebration was held for the anniversary. DITV reporter John Chenoweth has more.
The Tippie Tribute to 20 event happened yesterday afternoon at the Iowa Memorial Union in celebration of the 20th anniversary of the naming of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business. Keynote speakers included University President Bruce Harreld and Henry B. Tippie himself. Here's a quote from President Bruce Harreld.
We have an incredible institution, and we have so many great things yet to come, but it's because of the foundation that Henry has created. And you can see that all throughout this.
Henry B. Tippie then explained what the University of Iowa did for his career.
I'm the one that owes the university. The university doesn't owe me anything. And the reason I say that, I was the beneficiary of getting my foundation here, which I was able to do something with.
New granite monuments may be placed around the University of Iowa campus that will serve as markers for gateway entries into the UI. The 13-foot columns are part of the university's Gateway project and would officially mark where campus begins at several entry points. The request for the first set of columns will close April 25th, when the UI will designate, committee to choose a supplier. The first installation will be made The first installation was made possible by a gift of $100,000 from Mary Louise Peterson, the namesake of Peterson Residence Hall, and her husband Rand. As of now, there is no time for the installation of the monuments, but they are planned to be installed at the corner of Church Street and Dubuque Street. Future installations at additional sites across campus will be considered should additional donations funded are given to the project.
Well, Jacob, I am missing that warm weather we did see earlier this week.
Yeah, me too. And let's toss it over to Marissa Kraft in the weather studio to see if there's any coming back.
Well, I have some bad news for you guys. Today's high is 47 degrees with cloudy skies. And, excuse me 1 second, I'm having technical difficulties. We're having 30-mile-per-hour winds expected throughout the day. Partly cloudy skies will stick around into the evening hours, where we can expect temperatures to dip below freezing right at 30 degrees. Now let's take a look at the extended forecast. The sun will come out on Saturday with a high reaching the low 50s and the low in the mid-30s with snow expected overnight. On Sunday, we can expect a rain-snow mix with a high in the mid-40s and a low in the low 30s. Thankfully, that snow won't stick around too long. Monday, we can expect those April showers again, with the high reaching the mid-50s and the low expected to hit the low 40s. Tuesday will be the nicest day of the week with sunny skies and a high in the 70s, but it won't last long. On Wednesday, thunderstorms are expected and the high will dip around 10 degrees in the low 60s and a low expected to hit the mid-40s. Be sure to enjoy the warm weather when it arrives and stay warm over the weekend. Jacob and Abby, back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Abby. A mysterious play began its run at the University of Iowa's Thayer Theater last night. DITV Arts and Culture reporter Kaylin Cluck sat down with the director to learn how the magic came all together.
I don't think it gives us any answers. I think it only gives us questions.
Director John Cameron says that if you're coming to see 7 spots on the sun, you'll want to pay attention every second.
Because there's so much detail and it happens so fast. You have to stay with it every moment.
Seven Spots on the Sun is the final production of the University of Iowa Theater Department's main stage season. It's both action-packed and deeply poetic. It tells the story of a war-torn country and its profound consequences on the people.
For me, it's a question. What is morality? What will we do to preserve our lives the way that we think they should go?
We follow a soldier and his wife as the war strains their relationship. But there's also a doctor who discovers he has magical healing powers to stop a mysterious plague afflicting the country's children.
There's a lot of symbolism in the play, and we worked very hard to make that symbolism accessible. For example, there's a puppet in the play.
The puppet is not in the original script, but the production decided to add it to help the audience understand the doctor's healing powers.
We even named him. His name is Berto, and he is so... I just find him fascinating, and I love the work that the students are doing with him.
Many of these students play members of the town who perch in the shadows of the giant set and are always watching the action. Cameron said this staging came about unexpectedly.
One night, I forgot to tell a bunch of the cast to leave the stage when I was blocking, and I looked at the picture and I went, oh my God. That one night I realized that they have to be witnesses to everything that happened. There has to be one or two of them on the stage for every moment, even the most violent.
Because of the violence in Seven Spots, Cameron advises against bringing young children to see it.
It's a play for people who can work through the painful things that happen in it.
It's bloody but beautiful, and it will be lighting up Thayer Theater for the next 2 weekends. Reporting from the University of Iowa Theater Building, Kaylin Cluck, DITV.
The 40th anniversary of the River Run will be this Sunday, April 14th. The River Run is an event that supports local charities such as Uptown Bills and the Extend the Dream Foundation. Both charities benefit individuals with living disabilities in Iowa City. Because of construction in past years, this year will be the first year since 2008 that the race will return to its normal route alongside the Iowa River. If you want to make an impact on Iowa City community, or if you just love running, be sure to get involved with the River Run. For more information, go to dailyiowan.com. Well, the Hawkeye basketball season may be over, but they are not staying out of the news.
That's right, Abby. Let's toss it to Lucy Rodide in the sports studio with more.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I know it's only officially been 3 days without college basketball, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it a whole lot. So good thing we've got news out of the Iowa basketball program this morning. Yesterday, Joe Wieskamp announced that he will test out the 2019 NBA draft process. In his freshman year at Iowa, Wieskamp averaged 11 points per game and almost 5 rebounds per game and was voted to the All-Big Ten freshman team. Now, with the NBA draft process, players who enter without an agent can return to school if they withdraw from the draft by May 29th. So don't worry, I'm guessing we'll most likely see Joe Wieskamp back in the black and gold next season. Now, while Wieskamp is testing out the waters at the NBA draft, offensive lineman Ross Reynolds is jumping into the deep end with the NFL draft. Reynolds was one of the Hawks' best run blockers last year, but spent a lot of his time at Iowa battling injuries, which helped make the stressful process of going through the combine that much more important to Reynolds.
I mean, everything is important, from the runs to the drills that we do, to the bench stuff and our jumping and whatnot. I mean, everything's equally as important. And I think, like I had said, everybody did a really good job on everything.
Those good results at the combine plus a strong senior year has Reynolds' draft stock building back up, especially after it took a major hit with those injuries. But because of those uncertainties, Reynolds doesn't know where he'll be in a year from now, and you know what? He's okay with that.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah? Couldn't tell you. No. I'm focusing on this right now, and when that time comes, and
Now, I'm not expecting Ross Reynolds to hear his name called during the draft, but he has a solid chance at getting a shot at a rookie minicamp or as an undrafted free agent just because of the reputation he has of being an offensive lineman at Iowa on his side, and I think he could be a real diamond in the rough for a team looking to improve their run blocking. Now, Reynolds will spend the next few weeks getting ready for the process of getting to the NFL, but baseball has spent the last week preparing for a tough Big Ten matchup on the road at Purdue. And we have DITV sports reporter John Rawson live in the newsroom with more. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Lucy.
Now, John, what can we expect to see from the Hawkeye squad this weekend against the Boilermakers?
Well, this is a Purdue team that's struggling, to say the least. They've lost their last 5. They're 10-21 this season, and so far in conference play, they haven't done a whole lot. They had a 17-0 loss in their last series against Nebraska on the road, so they're trying to piece things together. The Hawkeyes are coming off a 2-1 series victory over Rutgers, but they did lose 15-3 in the second game of a doubleheader, so you can tell their confidence was pretty low after that loss. It's going to be up to the Hawkeye pitching to really stymie this Purdue offense.
Yeah, and Iowa lost in a midweek game at Bradley this week too. So really, what can Iowa do to improve as they get deeper into their schedule and especially the Big Ten play?
Well, it's going to be up to their pitching. They're really lacking the confidence in their pitching staff, and the pitching depth has completely gone downhill. We had Jack Dreyer, who was probably going to be the Saturday starter coming into this year. He pitched in the Cape Cod League, one of the best premier summer collegiate leagues, and now he's been down and out with shoulder stiffness for a long time, and they're keeping a lot of that stuff in the program. So in order for this Hawkeye team to gather some sort of momentum going forward as we get deeper into Big Ten play, it's going to be up to the pitching.
Yeah, I really agree with that. They're going to need a strong performance from all their starters this weekend to leave West Lafayette with a series win. John, live in the newsroom, thank you so much. First pitch of this series is set for 5 p.m. Central Time tonight in West Lafayette. Now moving on to another spring sport that's not actually a spring sport. The Iowa women's soccer team remains undefeated with a 5-0 record heading into their final 2 games of the spring season. The Hawks credit their success on their ability to focus and their competitive attitude.
5 games played. It's been a really great season so far. We've been undefeated, as you already said, and we've scored a lot more goals than we have this fall. That's been our main thing that we've been working on, just because in the fall we really struggled to get those goals. We were really compact defensively and moved the ball well, but at the end of the day, you don't win by not scoring goals. So that's our big improvement this year.
Yeah, I'd say that this spring, I just feel like rolling into it, everyone had so much momentum coming off of the fall, and we kind of ended the fall with that last loss or that last tie where we just missed the tournament, and we felt that everyone was like, we had our whole team coming back basically and some new players, and there's just, everybody just wants to play. Like, I heard Bella talking, there's just, everybody wants to come in for extra work, everyone is putting their all into every tackle, and it just makes it much more competitive environment and so much more fun to be out here.
You love to see the fire from the Hawks there, but Iowa will hope to continue their winning streak when they travel to Kansas City to take on the University of Missouri-Kansas City tomorrow afternoon. Now that's all I've got for you in sports today. Tune back in on Monday where we will recap Iowa rowing's first home event in over 3 years. Jacob and Abby, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Lucy. And it's Friday. That means it's time for the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center who is ready to meet their new family.
This week's furry friend is Lennon. Lennon is a 3 to 6-year-old domestic shorthair. Lennon is a cool cat that likes to relax. He's the perfect friend to sit down with on a lazy day and watch TV. Lennon also doesn't care much for the outdoors, but he'll make sure to take care of the house when you're gone. Lennon likes to be the king of the house, so he's an ideal feline to adopt if you're just looking for one pet to round out your household.
For more information about Lennon, check out the ICAC website, call the phone number, or just go give him a visit.
Thank you for tuning in to this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now. For DITV, I'm Abby Napolis.
And I'm Jacob Gunther. Have a great day, Iowa City.